Hello everyone, this is Chris with StickerFab. Today we're going to be doing the installation of our full hood scoop cover for the 2022 and up Subaru WRX. Now, a little fact that I know, and maybe you do not know, is that Subaru actually produces a lot of trim pieces for the interior, and then they cover them with like a 3M carbon vinyl, and they sell it to you as a different part number. I don't think we get a lot of those in the US, but it kind of has a similar effect as what we have right here. This part of the hood is actually susceptible to a lot of heat, and we see a lot of hood scoops on older vehicles starting to have paint fade, really bad paint fade. So not as much on the hood as this plastic hood scoop. This stands out a lot on this color. However, it'll be a subtle addition to your dark grays, blacks, and other darker colors like your blue. However, for your lighter colors, it will be a nice little contrast piece. Let me quickly grab the vinyl and supplies and we'll start this installation. Alright, so first, please use the instructions written down on the product page as a guide in addition to this video. It'll lay out some things that you need, maybe anything that I've missed during the install. This can actually be purchased as a pack, and this is what you want to have. You want to have a microfiber, a felt tip squeegee, and StickerFab installation fluid. You can also use water with a 1 drop to 1 cup of water ratio of soap. I prefer this. StickerFab fluid dries out at a very good rate. So it allows you to move your vinyl around, and then when you're ready, you squeegee that out and it dries out pretty well. Some additional items we have here are scissors and a speed wipe that doesn't contain wax. One of the most important things is the temperature. You want to do this in between 75 to 85 degree weather. It's 82 degrees right now, and we have a lot of cloud coverage for Southwest Florida. If it is on the hotter side, you want to do this in the shade. You just want it to be warm outside. You don't want the sun to heat up everything so much that everything starts stretching or drying faster than you want it to. I'm going to take a quick break while I remove this. Okay, now that's all removed. It has been on there for about a week and a half, so it wasn't that hard to remove. If you ever have to remove this, you want to try to peel slow so that it comes out in large sections. Something else that you might want to have here is a hair dryer or a heat gun, and that all depends on how much application fluid you use. This is kind of wet right here because it stormed last night. We'll try to dry that off. Clean all of this. Make sure there's no wax, ceramic coating, or anything like that, because it will prevent the sticker from sticking. Alright, so you have your lower portion, your upper portion, and these strips just kind of fill in the gaps in between. If you have any gaps, if you have problems laying it down, these little things can be added, and they fit in really well without being so obvious that you had to use them. So if it is really windy, slowly take this off, start spraying your StickerFab application, put it in the application area as well. There's not a breeze right now, so not much of a breeze, so I'm just going to grab it as such. Now I want to center it up as I place it in here. The only issue with that, or the only difficulty, is that it's a curved piece. So centering it up and just sticking it in there, I can't get the center down. And that's another reason why I use StickerFab application fluid. So the initial bond doesn't set in the moment I put it down. Remember, you can also spray the back of the vinyl as well. When I first did this install, it was so sunny that the vinyl stretched a whole lot. I'm trying not to use as much StickerFab application fluid because I don't have access to a heat gun in this area at this time. If I use too much StickerFab application fluid, I'm definitely going to have to grab a heat gun. So making sure that is pretty even. Is actually over to the right just a bit. I'm going to pull it up, give it a small tug. Let's try that. This material is forgiving, and combined with the StickerFab application fluid makes it really forgiving. Helps as well. Let's use the squeegee, kind of push the outsides, get all those bubbles out. This material also has air egress channels, So that's going to help even more with the bubbles coming out. Now I'm definitely slightly to the right. Let's see, let's put this down for a second right there. Let's see if we can get this corner down. So if I can't get this corner down, I'm off, but I'm going to commit to this area. I'll go ahead and place a slight cut in this corner. That's why we have the scissors, just so I can get that vinyl to lay down. All of this on the edge, I can use my squeegee when it dries out and basically tuck it around the corners here. And this is where you probably want to use your heat. After this car bakes in the sun a little bit, this vinyl will be nice and warm. I'll just come back and I'll use our squeegee and push it down into the corners. You can pull up on this slightly and tuck in that vinyl. Just go ahead and reach your hands under here and do that. Be careful when you're shoving this into the corners so that you don't rip the vinyl. As you can see, I'm going down and then in instead of just sliding it along there. If you do that, a lot of the times you'll get creases. You can see all that moisture down there from the rainstorm. Alright, so next I'm going to grab my big piece. Just so you can see the benefit of our fluid. Alright, so use your sticker fat fluid on the hood and the back of the vinyl. Make sure you get that aligned evenly. Squeegee it down. If you leave a lot out of the backside, you might need to use the non-felt portion to actually push that down in that channel. It is a pretty good suggestion actually to remove all watches and rings. You can see I'm using one hand to push this up, the other hand so you push that vinyl down in that channel. Really gentle around these corners if you're using just the plastic part. Front edge, we can just roll it, use our thumb. Pretty much I'm going to roll it right up until this groove right here. I prefer to take the scissors and gently make a kind of a relief cut right here. So basically one layer can go over the other. We don't do those beforehand because your alignment might be slightly off, and if it is, that cut would be in the wrong place. If we get back behind the hood scoop, you can see how well you did on the back side, and if you need to give it a little bit more attention. Alright, so unfortunately, due to the fact that it rained last night and there's too much moisture in these areas on the side, I will have to use heat. And just to show you, you really can do this with a hairdryer. You want to use the minimum amount of heat necessary. Heat and pressure will get this vinyl to stick. Not just heat, but pressure. And a little stretching. Really, the more patience and time you commit to the install, the better the results are. A little bit of heat, a little bit of tucking, heating up areas, using pressure to stretch it and push it down to really activate that adhesive. When you're satisfied with the top layer and the bottom layer, that's when you start coming back with the areas that fill it in. One of the layers is just a very long line. We're going to use that to kind of cover up this lead edge. So you run it right along that lead edge that you've already pressed down. Making sure you're covering up all that paint. And then if you have any extra from an accidental stretch, take your scissors, make a clean cut. Push that down. We're going to use this little bit that was left to cover up this. So for me, with my install, I have a pretty good amount of coverage. Since I don't really have to fix anything and I have extra pieces, I may elect to cover even more. This piece is kind of thick. I think I'll use a thinner one. Use another one of the same size. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. And alright, there you have it. The installation of our full 3D carbon hood scoop for the 2022 and up Subaru WRX. Pretty happy with the way that installation came out. Got everything down. Can't really see much of the original paint, especially from normal viewing angles. We'll be coming out with other videos like our antenna overlay. Same material. But please like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already, and hit that bell notification icon for the latest and greatest things we're coming out with for the 2022 and up Subaru WRX.